Morning to class. Today is about module 5, and module 5 is dealing with group dynamics. Introduction. Humans as individuals tend to form groups as they cannot survive alone. In the workplace, social nature forces workers to look to other people. In companies, people are working together. In companies, people meet with people from different backgrounds, of different cultures, but they are called to live together. So, in terms of social nature, this is now bringing people to live together, so they need each other. Let's see in terms of groups, count of groups. We have, in terms of kinds of groups, we have formal groups and informal groups. Now let's see about formal groups. Formal groups consist of authority or command groups that are formed to perform a leadership function, while committees or work groups complete a specific task in the enterprise. So we see that we have one side authority, people who are in authority, people who are in leadership to perform some functions in the enterprise or company. And the other end, we have also committees, we have work groups who are there to complete the task that we find in the company. So these groups are formed within the company. Informal groups, that is the second kind. Informal groups form within a formal organization structure when people come into contact with each other regularly. When people like workers they meet together, they can create some informal group within the company to fulfill some purposes or in order to answer to the challenges or problems they are facing within the companies, which is different from the management groups which are created within the company for the purpose of the company. Advantages and disadvantages of informal group where people are creating groups within the company. Advantages: provide social satisfaction, status and security. We have some union. These are the type of group to respond to some social satisfaction or security. So people can group within the company in different unions. How to get a task complete? This is the type of groups within the company where they are doing work together and they are helping each other so that they fulfill a task. How to eliminate weaknesses in the formal system because they're encouraging themselves within the group. Extend the effective span of management. So this is where mostly we are dealing with uh, team management, like team spirit. We want to have team spirit. We want to build team spirit so that everyone will work together to perform what is required by the company. What about the disadvantages? Members hide behind such a group to avoid responsibility. That is one of the advantages. May work against the aim of the management. So because these are workers themselves, they create a group to help each other. So you see, in terms of advantages, they can work against the aim of management channels. Reduces degree of predictability and control. Reduces the number of practical alternatives. Characteristics of group. Management aims for the establishment, maintenance, and development of individuals as well as group effectiveness in order to improve both individual and group achievement and thus to increase the success of the enterprise. You see, this is the responsibility and the aim of the management. They are there to check what is happening in the company so that they will fulfill the requirement of the company throughout the employees. So they have to check the development of individuals, they have to check the group effectiveness, and the end of all of this is the success of the enterprise. The functions of management regarding groups to determine the effectiveness of group. This is very important because though we are efficient, in terms of efficiency, we know how to do our work. But in terms of effectiveness, we have to reach the standard required by the company. That's why management is here to determine the effectiveness of group, the standard performance which the group must reach to obtain maximum work performance, to overcome group disadvantage if there is any. Informal leadership. What is it? Informal leaders are made of workers who talk the most or give direction to group activities. Remember, in terms of leadership, we say a leader is there to influence others, is there to show the direction, is there to motivate others so that they will fulfill the vision through the mission of the company. So someone who is talkative is good because he's extrovert, can really influence others. He's got charisma already discovered. He can influence others. He's able to stand in front of others and show direction. These leaders fulfill two basic roles. The first one, a task role. What is it? Where the leader leads the group to the completion of intended activities. Remember, the workers in the company, they're hired for a particular activity to be completed and performed by them. So these leaders, they will help and make sure that these workers reach the completion of the activities. A building and maintenance of group work. This is the second activity for informal leadership. So that team spirit again, the maintenance of the group to satisfy the group's social needs by encouraging a feeling of belonging so that everyone will be fulfilled, integrated, belong to the group. We have many social needs, so we need people together so that we can fulfill and satisfy social need of each and every one among group. Group norms and conformity. These are the expectations of the group members regarding the actions of other members. That's why we are together. We need each other. Everyone has got expectation. Everyone wants promotion. Everyone has got need, different level of need. Remember Maslow pyramid. They exert pressure on members to conform to the group expectations. If a member fails to conform the expectations, he will be rejected because the group, they are helping each other in terms of reach a certain level of performance. So if someone doesn't reach the expectation of the group, so it end up being rejected. Group cohesiveness, building team spirit. Group unity, solidarity, or cohesion is an important indication of the degree to which the group as a whole influences individual members. There is a certain influence in the group, to belong to the group, to be integrated, to have unity, solidarity. That way we end up, we have cohesion. High level of solidarity reduces tension and uncertainty and increases productivity of members because you can interact easily. There is no barriers. We have broken through all the barriers so that we work together. We need each other. We are helping each other. We have all of us one goal which we want to fulfill. That is the purpose of group cohesiveness. Performance of groups. Two aspects of group performance for enterprise management. The first one, the relationship between group solidarity and performance, which plays a role in interaction between management and informal group. Management is a formal group. We say these are the people in authority. Informal group, these are the workers. They meet together, create these groups so that it can help them to fulfill what is required from them by the company. Now, the difference between problem solving in groups and problem solving by individual that can influence decision making, especially if management utilizes task forces, project teams, or committees for problem solving and coordination. So when there is a challenge in the company, the management at its level, they can sort out this situation, the challenges, we call it problem solving. The workers also in informal group, they can meet together and discuss and to sort out the same situation. But at the end of the day, what we want is for from the management and from the informal group to have all of us one solution which stand for the success of the company. Otherwise, to be trouble and confusion. Group cohesiveness and performance. Cohesiveness has a major influence on the productivity of members. Team spirit. When people are working together, it helps them to perform well. High degree of cohesiveness reduces deviation on the performance standard because we are helping each other. If someone doesn't understand anything, if there is someone who doesn't know anything at a particular stage, others can help him. Management should cooperate with a group of high degree of cohesiveness. Management success in the achievement of enterprise objectives can thus largely depend on the way in which groups in an enterprise with a great degree of unity are handled. So management must encourage informal groups if really they are working to support the interests of the company. The process of decentralization in the decision-making process given to lower level in the enterprise is one way in which members of the group are involved in the management. This is about delegation. If we delegate authority, responsibility, accountability to the lower level of employees, these people can work better and to help the company to fulfill the goals or objectives. So management will see how to delegate. There is in N4, remember, we learned about the delegation. So before you delegate authority, responsibility, or accountability to employees, you must know the level of maturity of that worker. You must know the skill, ability, the level of this worker before you delegate your you delegate authority or responsibility to the workers. Cohesiveness is very important, but based on the performance. Otherwise, it will be a club management where people take care about people, but the productivity is low. Problem solving in groups. Each group in an enterprise has certain skills and certain weaknesses which can influence problem solving. Because problem solving, people meeting together where there is challenge, they want to sort it out. Advantages of problem solving in groups. More knowledge and information. This is very important. Without knowledge, without information, how are you going to solve the problem? So knowledge is very important. More approaches to problem solving. How do you create approaches, different scenarios, approaches on problems before you get solution if you don't have knowledge, if you don't look for information? Acceptance of solution by the employees if involved in the process. When the employees, that we have learned about decentralization or delegation of authority, problem solving to the lower level of employees. If they are involved in the process of sorting out the challenge that the company is facing, it will be also easily for them to accept the solution which is coming from the company because they know that they played also a role in the process. Understanding of decisions made through group, good communication, interaction between management and uh, employees. Mistakes of incorrect reasoning more easily uncovered when everyone is involved because everyone will give his own opinion. Then throughout the opinions, breaking down of those opinions, they will find if there are mistakes, they'll fix the mistakes, and at the end of the day, a good solution will come from uh, brainstorming. More effective decisions made because everyone is involved. Disadvantages of group problem solving. Decision made too early, which prevent new or better approaches to be scrutinized. This is advantage, especially if they are, as we said, talkative people and the introvert people. The extrovert people want to take over, and the introvert people keep calm. And that way we have decision made too early because the introvert can have a good approach, better approaches, but they did not open their mouth to speak. Takes longer and is more expensive if everyone wants a solution to be considered. So it will take long because of the discussion. It will be more expensive because when people have to sort out the situation in 1 week instead of sorting out in 1 or 2 days, so it becomes expensive. Individual domination. These are the people with charisma because they're talkative, they want the consideration. These are the people in position management. They want because they are in a particular position which is on top of everyone. They want the opinion to be considered by others. Conflict of alternative solutions. Now, when interest, the need, satisfaction of need, uh, doesn't converge, so there we have conflict of alternative, and mostly is where the management want to satisfy the need and the workers want to satisfy the need, then we have trouble. Prior involvement is found. Factors that can be both advantages and disadvantages. Differences. Clash of ideas lead to creativities and innovative. So see this, we say there are some factors that can be both disadvantages and advantages. It's true that people can spend more time in discussion. Why more time in discussion? Because they've got opinions, but these opinions are they don't work together, opposites. So they have to make sure that they discuss together, and through the discussion, brainstorming, what way we have creativity and also we have innovation. Clash of interest, as I said before, between objective to be accomplished and solution to problems. Why? Because objectives that are established by the management, but the solution which will be created, there is also interest of the workers. If it doesn't go along, it doesn't mesh, so it's trouble. All acceptance of risk, yes, always there is risk. Then conservative ideas lead to less risk. Why? Because we know management can say no, we always do this and there's no problem. Now, when we have to start creativity or innovation, new ideas, we don't know the consequences because we have never done this before in the company. Though it may be a good way of solving this situation, now we are afraid of the risk because it's unknown to the company. Time demands longer time to take decision by better result. Why? Because of brainstorming, we have different approaches, we have different ideas. Now we want to bring them together so that we find a good solution to the interest and the success of the company. Change of ideas, different perspectives and approaches are developed because of brainstorming. Task forces and committees. These are the groups we find within the company and helping management to fulfill the objectives of the company. The use of committees for decision making is seriously criticized. In reality, a committee or task force or project team can make an important contribution to effective decision making and can be formally synergized and be applied for effective problem solving. Yes, we've seen uh, formal groups, we've seen informal groups, all of them, they're helping the company for problem solving, especially to get effective problem solving, which are helping the company to reach the success. Kinds of committees and task groups. Task forces or project teams. Who are they? They make suggestions to management, making decision in the group and implementing decision in work unit. See, they're helping management at the level of employees. Standing committee. What are the roles? The role is to satisfy a permanent need in an enterprise. So these are different kinds of committees that you can find in a company. Boards and commissions, they are a collection of individuals who are appointed or elected to manage public or private enterprises. General Management Committee. It is responsible for all the management aspects of the enterprise and members have equal rights. So these are the types of committees we can find in a company. Differences between task groups and committees. In terms of task groups, what do they do? Firstly, formed for solving a particular problem. You see, task groups, so they are dealing with tasks, they are dealing with activities, they are dealing with projects, they have to sort out problems. Disband when project is completed. So this, as we said, is mainly uh, based on task. So when the project is complete, so there's no need for that. Members can change during project, lower level of enterprise. Committees, permanently part of the enterprise. Stable membership, receive instructions and not involved in task identification because they are part of the management, top level of enterprise. Advantages of committees and task forces. High quality decision making, increased probability of implementation, increased coordination, training of managers, distribution of power. The advantages of committees and task groups: decision made too soon, as well as compromising decisions, individual domination, like for extrovert, we said it, lack of responsibility for final decision, waste of time and money with long days of discussions. Effective formal groups, formal procedures. The objective of the committee or task force should be in writing and defined in order to facilitate objective achievement by the group. We said it. The company has got a vision, the company has got a mission, the company has got goals. So these groups are helping the company. Company is an entity, but we have people in the company who are taking the responsibility, authority, accountability to make sure that we reach the goals of the company, to the success of the company. The authority of the committee should be clearly stipulated. Everything must be written there. We have policy, we have procedures, we have regulation, we have code, conduct, and so on. The optimal size of a committee should be determined. How many people? A competent chairman should be selected. There must be always someone on top, not about the centralization, but remember, we are dealing with decentralization. A full-time secretary should be appointed to handle communication for administration of the committee. The agenda and all other relevant information should be distributed before meetings. We have learned already about how to prepare a brief, how to prepare an agenda, how to prepare a meeting. Meetings should start and end punctually. We have to respect time. Guidelines for group leaders. A leader is responsible for the members of the group, for his own leadership behavior, and for the assigned task of the group. This we've learned in the leadership, task behavior of a leader, how to influence, how to reach the goals with your followers. He is responsible for controlling quality, qualification, skills of its members, establishment of objective for the group, and the style of decision making. This actually is about what you have learned in leadership. The level of your employees, how do you help them to improve in the performance so that they will help you as a leader to reach the goals together with them and to the success of the enterprise. Guidelines for members of groups. Members should start the point of view logically and clearly without arguing about it. This is team spirit. When there is a solution, there's a problem or challenge, is for firstly for the interest of the company and secondly for the interest of individuals. There is no win-lose situation. The group will look at the next alternative because we are looking for the betterment of the company first, interest of the company secondly, for us as employees. Members should be convinced of the effectiveness of the solution. It's going to help the company, thereof it also help to satisfy the need of the employees. Participation by all members of the group is important. So this is the way of uh, earning effective formal